This week in gaming, Xbox raises prices once again. Bungie lays off most of the Destiny team and more, and GTA prices gets confirmed and much more. We got a jam-packed episode, everybody, here. This is the Nerd Cave, and I am your host, Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek Daniel. Derek, how's it going, my man?
It's going pretty well, man. Been a eventful week for me, but especially been an eventful week in gaming news. Like the last week was jam packed with a lot of politics and gaming, and guess what? We get more, but it's more of the at the consumer's cost. Like two of the stories that you had mentioned in the opener just dropped today. You know what I mean? Like you want to talk about hot off the presses? Well, it ain't getting any hotter than this. Like. So like originally we were just going to talk about Steam Machine and GTA, and then all of a sudden you text me about these other two stories. I'm like, send them.
Yeah, I was sitting down for lunch today, and I opened up YouTube, and on Kind of Funny, it's Blessing and Andy were talking about both of these, the two first stories we're going to talk about and everything, and I was just like, dang it. Okay, so I was like, all right, well, let's do it, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a good show though. We got a lot to discuss. I'm excited. I'm glad we're here, glad we're getting to enjoy this, because next week, everybody, just a little heads up, next week, Nerd Cave Newz is going to be usurped, if you will, by Eat Sleep Anime. Yeah. We're going to be doing our quarterly Eat Sleep Anime episode during our normal Nerd Cave Newz time. It worked really well last time, so we're going to take the place of that next week. So we're gonna have a great time talking about all the anime that we've been watching, all the cool stuff that we've been getting into, so you don't want to miss that. I really enjoyed doing it on Thursday last time, so I'm really excited for it.
So me too, man. Like I know we were debating like off air last week about should we do it this week, should we do it next week, and you know, Steam Machine came up, I think like it was on a Friday or a Monday, with its prices and whatnot. I'm like, okay, that's one. Then GTA dropped its price on Tuesday, or like they talked about Tuesday or yesterday, like the prices and all the controversy surrounding everything else. And I'm just like, all right, that's going to be two. And I texted you yesterday. I'm like, so what are we doing? He's like, let's do Nerd Cave. I'm like, bet. That's fine with me because, you know, give it another week to digest because, you know, Witchat Atelier just ended this week. Dr. Stone had its final episode of the show today. Wow. So really, you know, emotional. Like this is the last Derek, you know, this is the end of Derek's 9-month calendar run of shows ending. You know, fall was My Hero Academia's, the winter was Golden Kamuy and Fire Force, and now Dr. Stone was this spring. So thankfully I have nothing else ending, at least for the foreseeable future, for the rest of the year. So
yeah, Amy and I have watched several shows where it's like, okay, here is most of the first season, and we're just waiting for episodes at this point. With the Warrior Princess and the Barbarian King, Demons of the Shadow Realm. Like, there's just several where we started Ascendance of a Bookworm, so we're like waiting for the last few episodes or to get dubbed. So we're just kind of like, yeah.
Sit on your rocking chair and just waiting.
just waiting.
Side note, because you know it was yesterday, but happy 9-year anniversary to you and Amy, by the way.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So,
I appreciate that.
I was there in the wedding party, watching you bawl your eyes out while you're trying to give your speech.
Yep. Do my vows and everything.
And as always, as I say, I know I've said this for many a year. I will continue to say this every year. Amy, just know that I'm praying for you because I know the diva that you have to put up with in your husband. So,
you know,
see what I put up with, guys.
I'm not even going to deny it. I am a little bit of a diva. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit. I don't know about as much as Derek tries to put off, as I'm overzealous and everything, but you know, you gotta have at least a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, I know you try to pipe it down a little bit. I try and pipe it up, and there's a middle ground. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Video Gamer 13 commented Steam machine price is crazy. We're going to be talking all about that tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And GTA 5 or 6 for $80 is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting into a cost prohibitive time in video games.
Yeah.
And
It is becoming an expensive hobby.
yeah, and it's like you get to this point where it's like I can't even do what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, I can't help that. So, but that'll be what we talk about tonight. Let's jump into what you're playing. And Derek already told me he was honest at the very beginning before we went live. Derek hadn't had time to play, and that's totally understandable, y'all. At least there's one true gamer in the Nerd Cave here. One true gamer. I think Amy actually plays more games than both of us at this point.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's been hammering that library game pretty well. So for me, I jumped into, since I finished Alan Wake 2 a few weeks ago, I've been like, okay, I need to get back into Death Stranding too. So this past weekend, and I jumped in, I played probably about 4 hours, and I'm like 70 something % through Death Stranding 2 now. So my goal is I'm going to try to wrap that up within middle of July is my goal before I really jump into any other big games. Like I did start Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I was like, I feel like I'm not going to be able to give it the time that it needs to while I'm still trying to juggle Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish that. And jumping back in the world, Derek, I can't shout Kojima's praises enough here. It's an amazing game, y'all. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but it's so good. So been loving that. And then played Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight on Tuesday. Been loving that, dude. All the references, all the little nods, even like they even referenced Home Alone, like the original one. They had like a Home Alone joke in the game and everything. So, and right now I am in the Tim Burton era of Batman from like the Return of Batman Returns, where it has the penguin. I just fought the penguin, and the way they're crafting the story, I think, is really good. Like it feels natural, where you start off as the Batman. Matt Reeves is the Batman, as like the beginning of. Well, actually, you start off with like training with the League of Assassins from Batman Begins. Then you go into the Batman. Then you go into Tim Burton's Batman, which I'm fixing to go into the Joker side of things. So really been digging it, dude. And then of course been playing V Rising.
Oh yeah. So, I remember you do talk about V Rising a lot. So
I'm loving it. And apparently it's on sale right now on Steam for like $15. I'm playing it on my PlayStation Portal, but I'm like, if I buy it on Steam, can I convince people to get it as well, and we play it on stream? Because because you can have multiple people like in a castle and everything, and I'm like, man, if I had people that could like go out and like we're hunting things together, it'd be like so much easier to play, and then we could get like resources a lot faster and like build up this amazing like I've put over 70 hours into V Rising so far.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
that says a lot, because you don't do that for a lot of games.
No, and I'm not even like, it's very it's like in that vein of Minecraft, where like this one has more story than Minecraft in my opinion. But I've never been like, Raft was probably the closest, but I've never been just like, oh, go in the world, get resources, build something, and then you get like a little trickle of something.
Do the same thing every day.
Yeah. And it's like, at least there's like an upgrade tree and all of this kind of stuff. There's stuff that I'm hunting for and all of that. But yeah, I'm loving V Rising. And if anyone is interested, let me know. Summer Games Fest. I mean, not Summer Games Fest. The Steam Summer Sale is going on right now. And yeah. If y'all want to play some V Rising.
Yeah. Going back to Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Do you think they will add any DLC to this? I know they really didn't talk about that, and I know Lego games used to be really bad with season passes, like adding extra content depending on the game they did, but they really haven't, ever since they've restructured how they want to make a Lego game, they really don't talk about it. But do you think they'll do that to the deep lore? Because I would like to see them touch, like, I know you always talked about the Gotham by Gaslight story, and I just saw the trailer for like the part 1 of Batman Nightfall.
Yes, dude, yesterday. It looks so good. It looks so good.
So I wonder if they'll, because it's going to be a 3-part movie, if they're going to add stuff from that into it as well. Like that Bane in that trailer looked real vicious. Just saying. So
yeah,
really intrigued. Like, I haven't watched a DC animated movie in a very long time, so I'm wondering if that'll bring me back to it. Just for kicks and giggles. So
it might. Like, it does look really good. I was very, very enthralled with what they were showing on that Nightfall. I would hope so. I don't know if they will. I don't know where it lands at the end of the day, like story wise, and it would be awesome to get, like, they've added a lot of, like, there's literally the pirate Batman outfit that's in there. Like, there's so many like costumes that you get. I just got the samurai Batman outfit and everything, and you got the gray ghost, and like you've got all these things. I would love to see. It would be really cool. I don't know how they would necessarily do it. They do have as a skin that you can buy, it's like $20, which is kind of crazy. So like, well, it's that and the Arkham. So you get Batman Beyond and like the Arkham skins, and then like a few others or whatever.
Okay.
So it would be awesome to get like a Terry McGinnis storyline in there. I think that would be like, if I was going DLC, I think that would be the easiest way to make money. Is because everybody, like, I have people jumping in the chat when I'm playing on Tuesdays. It's like, oh my, like Bane comes in. He's like, man, I wish that they had Terry McGinnis in here and all of this. And I'm like, or Batman Begins. Like, everybody loves Terry McGinnis because it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so different than, like, it brought what Batman the Animated Series was doing, but then like brought it into the future and just did a really good job with it. So, I think there is a potential, but it would have to be not in the main line of like stories, because the way I'm seeing it going is it's going to go through all the movies and maybe some of the big points of the animated series.
Arkham games. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, I feel like we're definitely going to get all the movies. I've played like 6 hours so far into the game, and I know it's like a 15 to 20 hour game. So there's a lot to it.
Only time will tell. I just threw that out there because I just wanted to pick your brain, because I know really it's unless it's a live service game or like multiplayer centric game, like DLC isn't really a thing anymore, which is crazy because I remember circa like 2014, 2013, like it was crazy. Like everything was having season passes, DLC, and I mean, it's fine. And I mean, like every once in a while, like you'll get a Valhalla or like a Burning Shores for Forbidden West or whatever, but you really don't see that anymore. It's and I guess I'm okay with it because I mean, if you tell the story, and if you have room for DLC to add into it, or like spin-offs, or like the new thing now, like Miles Morales, Lao Fei, and just stuff like Infamous was like Infamous Second Son was the first one to do it with First Light. Like it was a DLC, but it was also a spin-off technically.
Yeah, I don't know if they will. I really don't.
Yeah.
they I feel like they did a lot more like character packs than anything.
Yeah.
There's like maybe some levels. Let's see. Lego Batman looks like they had
I
some.
know Lego Batman 3 had some DLC.
Yeah, Man of Steel. Like they had a Man of Steel
Mm-hmm.
stuff in there. So, and you can apparently get. Joe was telling me this. What's up, Joe? You can get like all the Lego Batman games for like $5 on Steam right now. And
Wow.
the Arkham trilogy, this is what gets on my nerve, grinds my gears, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
is they're selling all of the Arkham games are on sale, and then they do a like Arkham bundle, and I'm like, okay, I bet, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I bet that it's going to be just the three main ones, and they're not going to include Origins
Arkham
in this
Origins,
bundle.
yeah.
And of course they did.
And guess what?
Yeah. I'm just like, you got to be. Origins gets such a bad rap, but it was so good.
I know. I mean, it was a twofold thing. It wasn't, even though it had the Arkham name, it wasn't part of the originals because it had a different cast of characters while they were, making Arkham Knight. But also, it was a buggy mess. But I mean, Cyberpunk was also a buggy mess, and people love it now. So it's like, why can't you do the same? And same thing for, well, I wouldn't say a buggy mess. It had a lot of controversial loot boxes, but Battlefront 2 was the same thing. People hated on that all the time, and now people love it. Like, I mean, it had a resurgence at a random point last year where all of a sudden everyone wanted to stream Battlefront 2. So it's like, why can't we show that same love for Arkham Origins? Better yet, why can't WB give that same love and attention to Arkham Origins?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like it really gets on my nerves because I absolutely love it, and I played the mess out of Origins. Like I don't understand why people were saying it was a buggy mess. Like I didn't have that many bugs in that game at all at launch. So
I know a coworker of mine. I know like there was a glitch where when you fought Deathstroke, like obviously you got like a dismantle weapon ability or whatever, and it glitched on his save file and it continued the story, but he didn't get that ability.
Well, sucks to suck, I guess.
I guess so.
If you're good, you don't need it.
That's also true.
If you're good, you don't need it. You know what I mean? All you need is your fist and a batarang. That's all you need.
And explosive gel.
And explosive gel, which you do have explosive gel in Lego Batman, which is hilarious.
That's cool.
And I love you still do the bat symbol and everything. So
that's even better.
But you know what's not good is our first story, because it's time for the gaming discussion this week. Microsoft is raising the price of Xbox consoles by $100 to $150. This is by Andy Robinson over at the VGC.
And 3 of our 4 stories we're talking about tonight involve some type of pricing. So strap in, we're going to talk money tonight. Starting August 1st of this year, the cheapest Series X 1 terabyte model without a disk drive will retail for $750, while the disk drive model will retail for $800. The cheapest 512 gigabyte Series S model will now cost $500, with the 1 terabyte costing $600. In a statement, Xbox blamed the price increases on, quote, the current components crisis, blah, 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 blah. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary, and we have spent the last several months working with suppliers on options, the company said. Unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. Yikes. Quote, the entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current components crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at a profit, but instead for less than they cost to make. The global economic situation has piled pressure on game console manufacturers, which have historically reduced prices over time. At this stage of PlayStation 4's lifecycle, the console retailed for as little as $200, but the cheapest PlayStation 5 model cost 50% more than it did at launch in 2020. And Zach, you know that we were going to leave Xbox alone. Like originally, I was going to leave Xbox alone this week. Like spoiler for one of the quick hits, there was a thing that Asha Sharma talked about there was going to be, or like that Jason Schreier reported on, like continuing off of what we talked about last week, about there's going to be a bloodbath of like studios, like layoffs and all this kind of stuff. And you know, we talked about last week, it's going to get worse before it gets better type of deal. And I was going to leave Xbox alone. I was just like, you know, I struggle with it. I'm just like, do we, don't we? I'm like, we talked enough about the studio politics. Let's leave them alone this week. And then this drops, and I'm like, well, it's not studio politics per se, but it is definitely the company politics for sure. And I get, again, it's like COVID. You know, again, we just eye roll every time we hear the same excuse for why they have to do the things that we do. Why did we have to delay? Why did we have to push this down the road? Oh, because of COVID, because of work from home situations, blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. This is, we are at that point, we're like over a year and a half, 2 years into this. I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about this. And here we are, different subject matter, same feeling with, oh, why do we have to keep raising the prices because of the current components crisis? Okay, we're over a year into this. Quit. I get it. And because there is a thing, like spoiling for like when we get the Steam machine, there is a thing in there about, oh, why they have to, you know, pretty much why they had to increase it, like because of what the RAM is being sold for, blah blah blah, and like the whole, like, it's pretty much like a hostage negotiation. It's like take it or leave it type of deal or no deal, essentially. And I get it to an extent, but at the same time, the onus is still on you guys. Like, again, you are the reason. The last time you raised prices was almost a year ago, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back in a lot of retailers like Best Buy, and said, you know what? This is way too overpriced. People are not buying it. We've already been sitting on way too much inventory before you did the second price increase, and now you're doing another, or before you did the previous price increase, you raised it again, and now we're just like, we just see the writing on the wall. We're just going to be sitting on dead inventory. We're getting it out of our system, and now Best Buy looks like the geniuses, because now an Xbox Series X is going to be $800, and like, who's going to buy that crap? You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It just seems like, again, they were building goodwill, right? Like the first 100 days with Asha in office, right? She instantly lowered Game Pass. She got rid of these functions and features, and you know, it was like, all right, let's focus back on making this a great company that is competitive. We're tired of being the bronze champion. We need to go for gold. And it's like, all right, you have this awesome showcase. Like I talked about it ad nauseum 2 weeks ago about, you know, their game showcase, the strongest opener to a showcase in recent history, and like just banger after banger after banger after banger of why you should invest in Xbox. And then all these layoffs. You talk about Double Fine, you talk about Ninja Theory, you talk about Compulsion, all in risk of being closed, or at the very least being spun off, like pretty much kicked out of house. Like, we put you in the pool house, you ain't going to be part of the family, but we'll at least let you live in the yard. You know what I mean? And it was just a bad taste in your mouth. And now the sour cherry on top is, oh, by the way, we're now going to increase console prices again.
Yeah, at this point, it just feels like we're in a place, it's just going to get worse, and it's going to be a while before it gets better. And
yeah,
like we're at this interesting intersection of the bubble is bursting.
Yep.
And I highly suggest y'all going to watch this video. This is by Mug Thief. I'm putting it in the chat. He breaks down like the game industry, like he does it like once a quarter and everything, that the game industry is broken, and like goes through a lot of, it was really good. I highly suggest watching it. Also Jason Schreier's video on how we got here with Xbox and all of that. He also did one on Bungie. I digress. We are at this point where, okay, the Xbox Series S, the
Yeah.
least powerful and hard to optimize for console, is now $500, Derek.
For the 500, and 1 terabyte costs you 600.
And they got rid of the 2 terabyte. I didn't put that in here, but the 2 terabyte model is gone of the Xbox Series X.
I forgot they even did a 2 terabyte Series S model. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like I understand it's like, okay, we're going to get rid of, because SSDs are very expensive right now. So it's like, okay, if we can cut down on that, that's also why you see like Steam Machine, which we'll get into, where you have like a 512 gig one and a terabyte one. That's all you're, you know, seeing and everything. But when the Series S is $500 just starting, man, that is a kick in the teeth. And now with the Xbox Series X going to $800, and again, you don't really need the disk drive at this point. And like, I don't know.
When it only saves you $50 at the same time, you know what I mean?
When it saves you $50, but like, I don't know many games that are actually printing on disk at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it is very
we know
few.
one that we'll get into at the end of the show that won't be printing a disc, but I digress.
And it's like not many, like, and that's a cost that they can save. It's like, okay, we're going to just do digital codes. You can get a plastic case, you know, and that does help, like, does hinder the resale value and all of that. But you look at this and it's like, okay, we have now increased the price. It's going to potentially go up again. We're working on Project Helix. Project Helix does not need to come out until 2030 at the earliest.
Well, and supposedly, like, I think I have it in the quick hits, is supposedly there's an analyst out there that says the RAM crisis will continue into 2027, but by the end of 27 into early 28, it should be on the up and up. Like, in other words, we might see light at the end of the tunnel, and it might get back to whatever type of normalcy we would consider. But that's a long way from now.
Yeah. But when you look at this, Derek, and we have GTA, which we're going to get into a lot of GTA news at the back end of the show. So if y'all are here for GTA news, then you're definitely going to be getting fed tonight. GTA is going to push sales. Okay.
Yes.
Would you rather, Derek, if you didn't have a console, you can only buy one, would you rather buy the Xbox or the PlayStation 5?
I forget what the PlayStation 5 is retailing for, but I mean, I get a PlayStation 5 because not only is it going to be super optimized, like I know I'm not buying GTA 6, but just for argument's sake, if I were to get GTA 6, not only is it better optimized for the PlayStation, it's easier to get a PlayStation. Like, you can walk into almost any store and buy a PlayStation, where, so, like I said earlier, a lot of retail stores took a stand after the price increase from last fall for Xbox and was like, it's already dead inventory. It's going to make it even deader. Let's just get it out of our stores.
Well, Derek, I will tell you right now. I can pull this up for everybody. The PlayStation 5 console, $449. Okay.
Wow. And that's for a 1 terabyte.
Now that's diskless.
Right.
I don't know what the difference between. No, this one has a disc too.
Yeah.
I don't know why one's $449 and the other one's not. I don't know.
Go back to the $649 one. And
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Is Fortnite subsidizing? That's interesting.
Your guess is good as well.
You know what I mean? Like, it could be. Hey. It could be subsidizing it. Yeah, gaming is a luxury. I 100%. It's cost prohibitive when people can't even buy gas. Correct. You know what I mean? And like, even if, okay, let's say not including the Fortnite one, $649, that is already cheaper than what the Xbox will be. Right now, $649
at least you get another month, you know.
Yeah, well, $649 is what the Xbox is right now.
Right.
So it's like, okay, once it goes up, and we're calling it right now, and I know Derek, you'll agree with me, PlayStation is going to go up. Like, we're going to see another.
I was going to bring that up because it's sort of like your turn, my turn, call and response type of thing. Because when PlayStation, I think it was PlayStation rose theirs, and then Xbox did theirs. That was like Best Buy said, "All right, we're done selling you in stores." So, and now it's like, all right, it's almost like a measuring contest to see who blinks first, type of thing.
Yeah.
And now that Xbox has done it, PlayStation thinks they have to respond. You don't have to respond in this kind of situation, guys. You can leave it alone. But again, if Xbox is doing it because of the current component crisis, PlayStation is going to follow suit. And probably beginning of next year, Switch will probably raise their price increase again. Who knows?
Yeah.
But again, I was just going to say, expect PlayStation right before the holiday season to increase their prices again. But I say all that to say, y'all have another just over a month before Xboxes raise their prices. Get an Xbox while you can. And I'm glad that they are giving some type of timetable before they increase those prices. So guys, if you, again, we talked about it earlier this year when, some of the price increases were talked about in late last year when it happened. When these happen and they give you a timetable, again, going into I know it's June 25th and this goes into effect August 1st. Start budgeting, figure it out. Like, again, if, your kids want an Xbox for Christmas, have they been talking about it all year? Buy one now, hide it in the attic, hide it somewhere where they won't, so they won't ruin their Christmas surprise early. But get it now while it's cheaper, because once it gets to $800, the more it keeps going up for any of these consoles, the harder it's going to be to budget and get, because we know, like, even before all this component crisis, the rise of groceries and all this kind of stuff, it was always hard to get everything on the kids' Christmas list or just get everything on anybody's Christmas list. But now that prices are going up everywhere, it's getting even harder. So budget appropriately is all I can say.
Yeah. Well, and I'll get into that, but let me show you this. Joe puts a good one out here. I should try to get one with the payment plan ASAP or secondhand. Yeah. And it goes back to what I was talking about last week. Getting something secondhand, like, is not like, I know a lot of people look down on that, but dude, look at this. Look at this. $175 for a PlayStation 5 Slim.
Wow.
Yeah. Excellent condition Sony PlayStation 5. This gaming system has you get two DualSense wireless controllers.
That's crazy. That would be you would get less than that in trade value at GameStop.
Yeah. And again, 329, 350, 400, 250. Yeah. It just has the covers off there. 200, 380, 550. That's still cheaper than the other. 350, 324. Let's look up Xbox Series X's. We did this last week. 350, 300, $100.
That looks like it's sort of like, it's like, oh, we're going to charge $800, and it literally says in the disclaimer, this is just a piece of paper, and someone got mad because they bought just a piece of paper. It's like, it said it in the disclaimer.
Yeah, I would again, you got to watch out for the fake ones and everything.
Yeah.
But I would, anytime I buy something, I got to go check and make sure it works, it runs, all of that. But yeah, like, if you can.
Yeah, don't fall for the scam of like, oh, I got a PS5 for you, and it's just a PS3 and a PS2 taped together. Don't fall for that.
Yeah, don't fall for that. But I didn't put this on there, but you brought up a really interesting thought, Derek, and this is something that is being talked about. There might not be enough consoles for Christmas to meet demand.
That's even worse. Like, not only is it going to be outside of most people's budgets, but if you do budget and save up enough, you might not get one. What timeline are we living in?
We're living in the AI slop timeline.
Something.
And this is of course going to be pushed by GTA 6, everybody. Like, just know that.
Yeah.
I just want to read just this right here. We've been informed that because of the ongoing issues around hardware component availability, we won't be getting the units we want ahead of GTA, the senior games buyer, speaking without his employer's permission, told the publication. Demand will likely outstrip supply during the year-end period. I can tell you definitely demand for the console exceeds the supply. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is. And again, GTA is gonna push this because people who have been waiting for a quote unquote reason to still buy a PS5 or Series X and S, have been saying, all right, I'll get it when GTA comes out, and GTA's here. And now it's like, not only is it way overpriced than what it launched at, and now it's gonna be harder to find some, and especially if you're an Xbox fan. So it's just, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's I hate this because we are definitely in a point where this is years in the making. Okay, this didn't just happen because of Asha Sharma coming on or this, that, or the other. This has been because of the gaming industry. Yeah, it's how to say this. Poor management. I was going to say something before poor, but poor management is the reason why we're here. Let's look at PlayStation. Because of Jim Ryan's push for live service games, we put a ton of development cost. 60% of all development for the last 5-ish years was focused on live service games.
Yep.
And when just to get a game out the door that is big is at least $300 million for that big of a game. And you're like, oh my God, it takes so much money. It takes so much time to get these games out. And it's like, yeah, because we're pushing this agenda because we got to make crazy exponential growth every time.
And we got to hit 30% profit margins with every game that comes out, and if you're Xbox.
Well, Derek, what's funny is we reported on it last week that they had like a 3%, whatever. It was essentially profit margin, which is 30%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's still not good enough.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we're still making money. We're still making money.
We want more.
We want more, and we want it faster. We want it like it's like, oh, we got to start pumping out. We got to start pumping out more of Elder Scrolls. We got to pump out more of Fallout. We got to pump out more Halo and Gears. And it's like, okay, it took Devil May Cry 5 like several years to make crazy amounts of money. Like we reported on it last week. And you look at the ones that are actually doing well right now, it's Capcom.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Capcom's doing really well right now.
They are spearheading in terms of third party.
And guess what? They're not making any of live service games. Yeah. They're focused they're focused solely on making first-person story-based games.
It's almost like they're letting their creatives be creative. It's a weird concept, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, go back, and we saw, like, because of all the push to make these profits, Jim Ryan's, cursed be his name, full of disdain. When he pushed this, what did it cost us? I mean, Concord came out and didn't last 2 weeks. It cost us Blue Point Studios. It cost us like Naughty Dog to take a step back. It did so much irreparable damage to PlayStation, the brand, and the PlayStation Studios and we're gonna eventually. I mean, we'll get into it here in just a minute. We're probably gonna lose Bungie, like as a result of it. Like one of the, frontiers, the pioneers in the gaming community for like Halo and all that, being like well known for shooters and multiplayer. Like we're gonna lose one of the household names eventually because of these decisions.
Yeah, and like that 3% profit margin or whatever, which is actually 30. Well, actually, no, it's not 30. I misspoke on that. It's 3%,
Oh.
which is still crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know PlayStation's?
Go ahead.
Okay, 23%.
Mm.
But that is before they had that huge loss on Bungie. So it's actually around 9% with that factored in.
Ooh.
So
yeah,
it all comes back to poor management. It all comes back to poor management. And that's the sad thing, because when you have good management in there and they challenge people that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground, like my grandfather would say,
yeah,
you get threatened. Like Shuhei Yoshida got threatened by Jim Ryan. And it's like, without people like Shuhei Yoshida, God of War 2018 wouldn't have happened.
Nope.
It would not be the same
Ragnarok.
game. Yeah.
Definitely would not have gotten Lao Fei.
No. And it's like, you have to have people in there to, it's essentially like the only way to make a diamond is because of pressure. You've got the resources, you got the coal, and you got the pressure. That's what Shuhei and good managers do, is they put the pressure on the creatives in a good way, not to churn out this, that, and the other, but in a good way. And then you get a diamond. You get something that does well.
Yep.
Spider-Man 1 did really well sales wise. Yep. And I mean, Spider-Man 2 was good, but it can't make up for that $300 million budget.
No. And I mean, well, and I was going to say, look at Insomniac as a whole. Like, Insomniac has had a resurgence because, like, after being bought by PlayStation, like, yeah, they did a great Ratchet and Clank game that was a PS5 launch window title that did phenomenal. And I mean, brought faith back into, and probably gave birth to Astrobot because it's like, hey, people still love platformers. You know, it's like a crazy concept. And now it's like they've got all these Spider-Man games. We're about to have their next game here in a couple months, and Wolverine, can't wait for that. And now, and look at also, but Sucker Punch. Like, Sucker Punch was the infamous studio for a while, and like, yeah, those games were good, but Second Son was not really great. Like, after the following up first two, and now like the Ghost titles of both, like they've had two great Ghost titles, especially. And it's like, when you let these studios breathe and give them direction, but also challenge them to be like, hey, okay, this, like a great example that we bring up all the time, right? Guerrilla Games, right? They were the Killzone studio, and those games were, you know, pardon my French, a fart in the wind. Like, they came out, no fanfare, crap multiplayer, not pushing the genre forward at all. And when they came out with when they announced this Horizon Zero Dawn, they were like, oh, this is Guerrilla, what is this? And then it came out, we were all blown away because they were challenged to do something different. They were like, hey, like, and it was probably a twofold thing. They were like, hey, let us do something other than shooters. All right, what have you got? Cool. Now, how are you going to make this way different than what you're going to do? What's the premise? Like, all this, like, make that world interesting. And guess what? You got it. Now, Forbidden West was a different ball of wax, but it pushed the gameplay forward. But like, Guerrilla was allowed to be creative and challenged to do something different. And look what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's up, Dan? Hope you're doing well, bro. I think this is interesting, and I don't want to jump the shark here, but I do want to bring this up. GTA, what kind of game is GTA 6, Derek?
An open world action game?
Yeah, but is it multiplayer? Live service?
No, it's gonna be. I mean, will it have a multiplayer mode eventually? Yes, but right now it's being touted as a single player experience.
So you have the most anticipated game of all time, GTA 6, that's literally going to carry all of the financials, and people are going to point to it as like, oh no, the gaming industry's healthy. If without GTA, I don't think the numbers would line up this year.
No,
okay,
100%.
But we're going to point to GTA, and Derek, I remember us early on with this show. It's like people were saying, is single player games dead? Are single player
Oh yeah.
games dead? And we saw the coming in of live service games, extraction shooters, blah blah blah. And now it's like all of that is come to a head and everything's on fire. And then we've got Rockstar coming out this year with GTA 6. And Derek, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but PlayStation's app literally has put a GTA 6 kind of style for their app.
Yeah, like the cover, like the color scheme.
Yeah, they are, as Andy Cortez said today, they're glazing pretty hard.
Oh, for sure. And rightfully so, because Rockstar and PlayStation have been always great partners. So it's like PlayStation is going to push the mess out of GTA.
Yeah, but they also have a game that's coming out in September, Derek. PlayStation does.
Wolverine.
Yeah. Why don't they have this as blue and black?
They'll give it its time, but they know GTA is going to make them billions.
They will, but it's not going to be like they're not going to change the app's color for it.
No.
But
they know what's going to sell.
They know
Wolverine will sell, but it's not going to sell compared to GTA.
No, definitely not. But I just thought it was very interesting that PlayStation changed their app.
It's already in June of 5 months away from when GTA is launching.
Well, and today pre-orders go live, which we're going to talk about.
That's also,
we're going to talk about all of that here in just a little bit. I hope everyone's doing well. But yeah, we're in a very, very weird time. Again, I suggest everybody to go watch Mug Thief's video. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Does a great job of breaking down where the industry is right now and what it's going to take, because this is essentially the second bubble bursting of the gaming industry. And he did a really, really good job of breaking all of that down. So I think everybody should go check that out. It was a very interesting watch today. And it's not boring. You know how a lot of those are kind of boring. You know what I mean? It's like they start talking numbers and you're just like, yeah, it's just a snooze fest. Let's talk about Sony since we've been bashing Xbox. Let's make it an equal opportunity fight here with Sony. Sony confirms it's laying off most of the Destiny team and some of Marathon's devs. And this is by Chris Scullion over at the VGC.
The news was broken by the Destiny 2 studio in a statement on Twitter saying, quote, "With great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie." It added, "As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years following our final content update to Destiny 2, and with our future projects still in early incubation, we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size." Update, studio head departs today, and Bungie studio head Justin Truman was succeeded by Pete Parsons last year, who was succeeded by Pete Parsons last year, is stepping down following the news of layoffs, Bloomberg News reports. Quote, "We know this decision has a profound impact on the people affected, their families, friends, and teammates. While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, that does not lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact it has on those affected. Later, we will share more about that future with you all, but today is not that day." Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Herman Holst informed SIE employees of the news today, sending an internal email, which was later published on the Sony website. Quote, "Today we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted and to those who remain. We hope you will do the same. Today I want to share a difficult update regarding Bungie. We have made the decision to reduce Bungie's workforce, affecting a significant number of employees, including most of the Destiny team and some Marathon team members. There are also reductions across SIE teams that support Bungie's operations. Those impacted at Bungie and within SIE are being informed today. Our immediate priority is supporting affected employees through this transition. We are providing transition support and, where possible, working to identify opportunities across SIE and our global networks of studios. I want to sincerely thank every affected employee for their hard work, creativity, and contributions to Bungie, SIE, and the broader gaming community. I know today's news is deeply difficult not only for those leaving, but for those colleagues and friends that remain. Please take the time you need to process this news and support one another. Thank you for your resilience and continued support during this difficult time. And I'm just gonna start off by saying, I know he tried to, do the high road type of thing and, like, make it seem like solidarity, we're all in this together type of thing. That was the most lame. I know Herman is probably like a sincere person. Not trying to lessen him like in his ideology, but this statement just rung hollow for me because it's like, oh, we're deeply blah blah blah, like all this. I'm like, dude, people got laid off. Like, again, I get it. It sucks. It's the business that we live in. It's the unfortunate negative side we have to deal with in this hobby that we love, that we call gaming. At the same time, don't make it seem like it's not as or it's less than what it is. Like, don't just try and belittle it like it's, oh, well, we did make profit, cool, or just don't make it seem like you lost some documents in a fire, type of thing. These are people who are affected.
Yeah.
So, and
yeah,
go ahead.
it's difficult,
Yeah.
and like, I think at this point, like, I want to say the last count was like 800. I think they're down to like 400 employees at this point, and I know that's still a huge studio.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong, but when you are literally letting go an entire team that's worked on the game that literally was the reason you bought them,
Yep.
and now it's like, okay, we have
This was
Marathon
supposed to
out
be your
there.
spearhead for this, to guide you into this live service era that Jim Ryan had grand visions of.
Yeah, yeah, and now we are looking at Bungie literally collapsing in on itself.
Yep.
And it's sad because Bungie, like you said earlier, Bungie has been kind of the spearhead of what, like, first person shooters have, were.
Yeah.
And then, like, I know with Destiny 2, it wasn't necessarily for me. I thought the story at the end kind of foo-fooed me a little bit. And then, but it was still fun. Like at the very beginning, I didn't, there were
Yeah.
still people playing and all of that. But to get to this point where, okay, it goes back to that management thing. Were we managing this team? Were we managing Bungie well? And
Yeah.
it kept being like, oh, we need to go in there. We need to, okay, they're laying off people. It's like, as soon as like you're having to lay off people, you should be looking at the managers,
Yep.
because there's a point in time where people get moved up into management and then they're ineffective because they stop being good at their job. They get moved out of the job
Correct.
that they're actually good at and being put into management, and then they stop being effective. And we are at this point that we are losing so much talent, and who wants to be a game developer and have to worry every day, am I about to go on Twitter or Blue Sky or
Yeah.
wherever it may be, or IGN, or I get a text from a friend like, hey, did you lose your job today? Like, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine living with that anxiety of,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm giving everything. I'm giving
Or
everything and getting
yeah, and
fired.
it's like you're giving everything at your job, and you have, a lot of people have significant others and like families to go home to, and it's like they're counting on you to make sure the lights are on, make sure the food still comes to the table, and it's like, it's, and even as much as people like to try and like damper a lot of situations, like I know that's the new norm, like it's, well, what they're trying to do now in some studios is like announce it to before the people even get wind of it. Like how some employees find out is like, oh, the day of the announcement, like they're not even a
Yeah.
house meeting, but there people talk, and like there's like a lot of whispers. Some people get tips like, oh, they're going to be laying people off, and now that you talk about anxiety, the anxiety is like, oh, will it be me? Is it going to be me?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be
Yeah.
you, whomever? You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to live with that. You don't want to look over your shoulder the entire time, and even if it's not you, you're like, all right, this is going to be what happens in 6 to 8 months. Like when they have to do another round of layoffs, like, are they going to be looking at me next? Like, and
Yeah.
it's that again, you talk about like, and we've talked about it before several times. It's like, this is an industry where it's not fun to like, yeah. And you come out of like college or you spend your whole life, like some people grow up wanting to be game developers and you finally get the job. And now it's like, cool, you're entering it at a weird time with like, it's still in a flux of live service multiplayer games, extraction shooters and all that. And it's like, cool, I can still try and like put my foot through the door, and like make a mark in the games industry, and then it's all of a sudden you're laid off, and now it's like your job. I mean, there are very. I know you can make a case that no job is secure at any workplace, but especially in the games industry right now, you could be hired and fired in a month. You know what I mean? Like just because that you're a cheap cost or like you're not as cost effective, and it's like, oh cool, we can afford to lose you. It won't burn us as much as we let Sally go that's been with us for 30 years. You know what I mean? Is making, or sometimes Sally is the right cost because she's costing us too much money. I digress.
It's easier to replace her with somebody that is cheaper. We can get
that's making a
two
quarter
people
of what she's making.
Yeah, we can get two people for the price of one. And then you're like, oh, why is it taking so long to make games? And it's like, oh, well, you have to bring somebody in. You got to teach them the tools. Even if they've used the same engine that you've used, every place that you work with has very weird little tweaks. Oh, well, yeah, when you're in here, you need to make sure you change this. We use this code here. Yeah. We do this, that, and the other. And it's like you have the people that are just trying to get their job done, having to train new people if they do hire any new people. And it's like, it's just putting new people onto a project doesn't speed it up. It usually actually slows it down. You need to start a project with a lot of people for it to go fast. So and again, this affects Bungie. It does affect some SIE employees as well that were over the like Bungie side of things, like their communication between the two and all of that. And Michael brings up a pretty interesting point. It'll be interesting to see what the Sony CEO's bonus is next year.
For sure. But I also like not to foo-foo that Sony doesn't really share that kind of information. So and really none of the first parties really share that. It's normally third parties that share that information. Yeah. So, but it's regard like that is a blanket over the entire industry, because it will be interesting to see all these studios, like, the North remembers type of deal. It's when you lay off, and it's like, oh, we made record breaking profits, and I can buy a 10th vacation home. It's like, I guess you really didn't need to lay off all those employees now, did you? You?
Yeah. And again, it goes back to the managers. They're not the ones that get canned. It's the people below them. It's the people where the trickle down effect only works when people are getting fired.
Yeah. And Dan brings up a good point too. It's also a signal to those that remain to start looking for other work. Yeah. And I mean, this is why more and more places are fighting to unionize. And I mean, again, we've talked about how we don't really think unions mean as much as what they did back in the day. But again, the premise of fighting to keep rights in your workplace should still be had. You know what I mean? Like, however you have to go about that, do it. Because as we're seeing more and more, it feels like we talk about it every week, but we definitely talk about it every month. Some type of layoff, some type of crazy, insane reasons why they had to lay off. Some of them because of current market conditions. Like, okay, we know that you just don't want to take money out your own pocket to make sure they stay here. Heaven forbid you sacrifice a couple million out of your $1 billion revenue.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to call it right now. It's going to get way worse, everybody. unfortunately. And I don't like, I know, like I make jokes about predicting things and all of this.
Yeah.
I hate to be like, it's not even really, it doesn't even feel like a prediction. It feels pretty like a layup. It's going to get way
Yeah.
worse before it gets better. And I'm talking about way worse, because we have seen all of these investors come into the gaming sphere thinking that this is the way to make easy money. It's, they get sold a bill of goods where it's like, oh, we're making a live service game. You've heard of Fortnite. Oh, I've heard of Fortnite. It's making so much money. I wish I would have got in on the ground floor and blah, 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 blah. So they've been sold this, and now it's like, okay, things aren't making money. For them to make money, they have to downsize stuff. And you're going to see a lot of investors pull out, which means less money is going to be going to developers. So there's going to be more closings. There's going to be more layoffs. And it's going to be not great. Okay.
No.
And I feel like talent is going to be very scarce. And we're going to get back to a time where there's not as many games, like AAA games, like big games coming out. And we've talked about it a lot. It's like, maybe we need AA to becoming a thing again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Clair Obscur is a AA game, but it's like you have that small of a team. You know what I mean? It's a huge experience, but it's like having a smaller team that can make something that is that good. Like, that's impressive. Like, it's going to get bad, y'all. Okay. Y'all just buckle up, because it's not only gaming, it's movies, it's television. Like all of the entertainment side of things, they see it as a money-making venture, not art. And that's the problem. The nice thing is, and I agree with Joe, indie games are the future. Like, you're going to see more people doing their own thing. They're going to start their own studios. We kind of saw this for a while in different places. You're going to see that more of that. They're going to be smaller games. They're going to be very interesting. And from the industry side, we're going to see a lot of IPs that have stood the test of time, and they're going to get milked like Star Wars and Marvel.
Yep. And here, and again, everything's cyclical. We say, oh, we're going to not repeat the past. And guess what? We're repeating a lot of things. Maybe not everything, but a lot of things that we said we were never going to do again. And yes, indie games are going to be the way of going to be the future, and more people are going to form these smaller studios. But what's going to happen eventually is when these indie studios that are like really pushing, like, let's just say, for the sake of argument, Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and Double Fine all get closed by Microsoft, or just like are not part of Microsoft Studios anymore. And let's just say they whittle down more and more studios over time to where it's just like Halo, Gears, and Forza, and then whomever else. Let's just say they whittle down to 3 or 4 studios. Guess what's going to happen again? The acquisition wars, where they're going to see these talented indie studios and be like, hey, y'all do some great work. Y'all have some talented people. How about we buy you, and we give you budget to make bigger and better games, and then we're going to be all through the same thing again. So it's not going to be indie games of the future. It can't just be indie games that are going to be the future. It's got to be make indie and stay indie. Do not, like partnerships, it's like, oh, like, your next game, we want it to be day one on Game Pass type of deal. Like, that's fine. Do not agree to be bought. And I'm hoping that seeing these scares and seeing that, like the studio that made Concord, that I think it's Firesprite or Firewalk, one of the two, got closed. And now, like, Bungie's a big studio, but like Compulsion started off as a small studio. Double Fine, small creative studio. And now they see they got the big budget money. They hired a lot of people to make bigger budget games, and now they're seeing they're on the chopping block, or at the very least in trouble of having to lose a ton of people and hollow out their teams. Do not learn this lesson. Do not let big studios buy you. You can partner with AA, like even Tencent. Don't let a big corporation buy you. Like if you're going to do this, if this indie surge and this indie renaissance is going to happen, you cannot give in to big corporate. Like yes, we all want to make the best creative games and the best ideas and make our games look the best they can as possible and do what we all want to envision that the game wants to be, and that takes money. I get that, but don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Do not sacrifice your soul just to justify the means. Learn from this. Learn, and I know Microsoft, again, I think had they not bought, I would like to see the timeline where they didn't buy Activision Blizzard and see if Compulsion, Ninja Theory, even Tango Gameworks, would they still be on the chopping block or have not been kicked out the door by Microsoft, or would they still be under their same umbrella? Would that $69 billion with a B acquisition of Activision Blizzard, how much did that really affect how these other studios are viewed and whatnot? Because again, everything's an ROI. Like if we spend money, we want to see something in return. It's not a free dinner here. So again, people who go indie, or if you're thinking about starting your own indie studio, learn from this. Do not sell to big corporate.
Yeah. Because you're going to get to a point where you're no longer, it's like any job, Derek. You're only as good as much as you can give the corporation, the business. And if you died right there in front of them, guess what? They'd fill your spot as soon as they possibly can.
Yep.
They're not going to
be replaced tomorrow.
Yeah. They're not going to just like, oh, well, we can never have another video editor. We'll never hire another, they replaced Michael Jordan. Coder. Yeah. They replaced Michael Jordan.
Yep.
When he retired.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah. They didn't say, oh, we can't have another shooting guard. No, they replaced Michael Jordan. They've replaced LeBron. They've replaced Kobe. They've replaced Shaq. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works, y'all.
They replaced Tom Brady.
Yeah. Dan has a good one. We'll move on. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. And bad times create strong men.
Again, going back to everything is cyclical.
Yep. Mug Thief said in his video, I want to make sure I give people credit. Man is the only animal that will stumble over the same root twice. Yep.
1,000%.
Yep. So let's talk about the Steam Machine, y'all. We got some stuff about the Steam Machine. Valve unveils the Steam Machine price with absolutely no drama at all, and this is by Kyle Hilliard at Game Informer.
Valve has finally unveiled pricing for its Steam Machine models, and they range from $1,050 to $1,428. There are 4 SKUs: the 512 gigabyte model and a 512 gigabyte model with a Steam controller, a 2 terabyte model, and a 2 terabyte with a Steam controller. Valve writes on its announcement page, quote, in an effort to improve the purchase experience and limit resellers, we're implementing a reservation system. You have until Thursday, which is today, to sign up for which model you want to purchase. The text for signing up for the list reads, join the list anytime before June 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. On that date, the list will be closed and randomized, and you will receive an email with your results shortly after. After the deadline, Valve is doing a quote, one-time randomization to determine the reservation and waitlist order. Valve offered some additional details on how this will work, which you can read below. Based on the reservation order, you will receive an email on June 25th indicating one of 2 things. 1, you've been added to the reservation queue and a Steam Machine has been reserved in your name. As units become available for shipment, people in the reservation queue will receive an email with the option to purchase. We'll send the first batch of those starting Monday, June 29th, and will continue to go through the reservation queue as units become available. You've been added to the waitlist, and we'll let you know when more units become available. And Zach, so what is the bigger story here? The fact that, again, it's like the cheapest one starts off at over $1,000, or the fact that they are having 2 different SKUs of each hard drive variant without a controller?
Like, I understand they're trying to make it as cheap as possible here.
Right. They know times are hard, and they're like, hey, anywhere we can save you some bucks, we'll do it.
Yeah. And not having a Steam controller, because you technically don't have to have a Steam controller to use the Steam machine. You can connect like an Xbox controller. You can connect a mouse and keyboard, blah, 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 blah.
But just like the DualSense, if you want the complete experience, you have to get the controller that is built for the system.
Yeah, and if I was getting a Steam machine, I would want the controller, because the feel, like the pads that are on there, like that's your mouse and everything, so you want that experience, and there is haptic feedback on that, and the Steam controller does look really nice. This being over $1,000, we knew that it was going to happen. We called it. It's like, it's going to easily be $1,000. We even called it's going to be around $1,500 for the top model.
Yep.
I even thought maybe the bottom model might be $1,500.
That's true.
Which I talked a little bit about this on Tuesday and everything, and I've been thinking on this and like hearing more people's like thoughts and all of that. The Steam machine is definitely, this is for the people that want that experience. This is not for everybody's cup of tea. And we're going to talk about original pricing, what they wanted to sell this as, and stupid AI. Okay. These data centers. Okay. Looking at you, Elon, and Sam Altman and Nvidia, you bunch of jerks, screwing up everything at this point. You look at all of this, and it's like, that's why everything is so much more expensive, is because of these things. Components are being put into these data centers for AI. But dude, I knew it, but when it came out, it was like, it was like,
it still hurt. We knew it was going to be, but when we saw the actual, we always want to be wrong, and when it comes to stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, when we still see it, it's like, it's sort of like the GTA price. It's like, okay, cool, it could have been a whole lot worse, but it still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan says, another overpriced console. You still might as well get an actual PC. And like I agree. Like, I would rather build out a PC than have the Steam machine. Roger was talking about it. He was like, I was whelmed. He was like, I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just
not
whelmed.
over or under, just whelmed.
I'm just whelmed. And I think it is, okay, let's say things get back to normal next year. I think as soon as like component prices go down, Valve will actually bring down the price on this.
Yeah.
Not compared to what PlayStation and Xbox might do. I feel like they might try to milk it as long as they can.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think Valve knows they make they make their money hand over fist from Steam sales and all that kind of stuff, to where it's like, okay, we can afford to drop the price of these consoles or the Steam Decks or whatever eventually.
Yeah.
PlayStation, Xbox, like, nah, man, we need some kind of profit somewhere.
Yeah. Michael says, I agree that price was subpar hardware. Now,
yeah,
it's a decent machine. It is not your top end kind of thing, and you can get a PS5 Pro for the PS5 Pro is like $899, and you get the best PlayStation. But I heard somebody talking about this. It's like, okay, with PlayStation, there's not like, to play PlayStation 1 through 3 games, you have to buy the service and all of this. And by the time you pay for that for like 4 years, you're close to the price of a Steam machine. And then if you want to play online, you got to have PlayStation Plus, $10 a month, and like over, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, with Steam machine, PC gaming in general, everything is free on that end. You get emulation, all of that. You don't have to pay any subscriptions to be able to play online, unless it's like a MMO that has a subscription base or whatever. I don't know. It's very weird. I'm not buying it. It's definitely not for me. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody gave it to me, I'd be like, cool, I'll put it out in the living room, and it'll replace the PlayStation 4 that's out there that we run well, I pretty much run Crunchyroll off of my laptop, but it's like, okay, Amy can play on the big TV when she doesn't want to use the Steam Deck, or we might do Overcooked or whatever. Like, it would not replace my workflow, my game flow, if you will.
100%. Right.
It's just kind of an additive thing for me. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I mean, it's. I want to bring up Dan's point. He says, I'm a little skeptical. Usually, once people get used to a higher price, companies stick with that price even after they can, afford to lower the price. And that is true. Like, but eventually the cost of eggs did come down. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't go down to where they were before the avian flu and the hard to get, but they did go down. Like Xbox Game Pass did go down. It didn't go down to what it was before all the price hikes, but it went down. Like, it will take time, and you're right. Like, it's all dependent on the company, but I would trust Valve to lower theirs sooner than PlayStation or Xbox because, again, Valve makes their money in other avenues. PlayStation and Xbox have pretty much one source of revenue, and that's the box. Like, yes, you make up the loss in console prices or the console profits with software, but again, anyone can play Steam. Like, you have multiple avenues to play Steam games. You only have so many with Xbox and PlayStation, especially now Xbox is cutting off revenues, and both of them are cutting off revenues or avenues.
Exclusivity.
Yeah, for exclusivity and where you can play those games now. Like, a year or two ago, you had multiple options of where you can play PlayStation games and where you can play Xbox games. Now in the big 2026, not so much.
Yeah. Well, and even with, like, you don't even have to have like a Steam Deck or whatever. Like, you could have a ROG. There's even like some Android devices that are coming out that are cheaper and definitely like more smaller form factor that can play some stuff off of Steam and everything that actually looks pretty good. So there are a lot more options on that end compared to, like, there are a lot more competitors to Steam out there than they are like you know what I mean, like hardware wise compared to, like, PlayStation's at the top of the world, y'all. Okay, like even with this old Bungie thing, they're still number one right now. But I think Derek, Nintendo might come and knock them off if they keep up this tomfoolery.
Yeah, they might. I mean, dude, Nintendo, don't you falter. Nintendo will do Nintendo things, though, to be
true,
fair.
they will do Nintendo things, but they just stay consistent. You know what I mean? Like, they're weird. Yeah. They do their own thing, but they stay consistent, and they didn't fall it. They didn't fall into the live service trap that both the other two did.
Yeah.
You know,
they may have fallen into the DLC trap in the era of the Wii U, but that was just trying to make some type of sales on the Wii U.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, compared to like Xbox and PlayStation, and I think Steam needs to be doing this as well. Nintendo is actually like getting younger, fresh talent that actually cares and is passionate about their IP to make those games.
Yeah.
Unlike PlayStation and Xbox and Steam, where you have Half-Life, like we did get Alex, but Half-Life 3 has just become a joke, and it's like, we're never getting that. It's like, get a team that is excited about that, make the game, you'll make GTA money for it. You know what I mean?
We'll get Winds of Winter before we get Half-Life 3 at this point.
Pretty much. Speaking of the Steam Machine, price was originally meant to be about $750, and this is by Jacqueline Thomas over at IGN.
When I got a chance to sit down with Valve engineers Pierre-Luc Griffet and Yazan Adelhayet last week to talk about the Steam Machine, I asked them what the Steam Machine would have cost before the current memory market. And while neither of them would give me a hard number, I was told that it was, quote, probably similar to the price increase that the Steam Deck experienced last month. Some quick napkin math pins the Steam Deck price increase at around 35 to 36% above the hardware's original $550 asking price, resulting in the new price of $790. if you do the same math for the hypothetical, excuse me, for the hypothetical 750 pre-ramflation Steam machine, that would make the final $1,050 price point at about 33% more expensive. And again, man, like we've seen all the companies do price increase on their hardware, right? Nintendo even had to give in eventually and do their price increase. And then we saw the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck was the most egregious because it was $300. And again, if the math was correct, like I know they wouldn't give a hard number because guess what? I know that why they didn't want to give a hard number because people would riot. Well, guess what? Jacqueline Thomas was like, "Hey, I'm going to do the math and make people rage out anyway." And yeah, 750, and let's just say that's the base price model, right? Like without a controller, 750, 1,050. $300 increase, which was exactly on par with the Steam Deck. And I know that that's the same thing she talks about with percentages, but just thinking about in dollar amounts, it's like a $300 increase before the pre-ramflation memory loss. Like that is insane. Like, could you imagine? And I know, and we'll get into it. The next article is talking about why they are pretty much bending the knee to buying the RAMs at the prices that they do. But can you imagine if Valve had the cojones to undercut PlayStation and Xbox, especially today, since Xbox said they're raising prices again, and being like, "Hey, PS5 Pro, $900. You can get one. You can get our Steam machine for as cheap as $750." That would have been insane. Like, yep. Now, would it have been the same power wise? Would it have been the same tit for tat? Not really, but it would have been a talking point. People would have talked for at least a couple of weeks about the fact that Steam's coming out and just be like, "Hey, we are coming in hot. We are going to be serious about being consoles. We're not just going to be content being PC makers, like PC game makers. We are saying, hey, we are serious about this. We want to be a major player in the console market. Here you go." And again, I get it. Ramflation, I get it. But what if, Zach? Just like the Disney Plus TV show. What if there was a world where they did choose to release it at 750? It would be insane.
Yeah, I like it. One, they would. Yes, they could. We were going to talk about subsidizing and all that here in a minute. They could have went that route, but if they did, Derek, they'd be making so much money. Like they're going to make money.
They would.
But they'd make so much money. People would be crazy about it and everything.
Gabe Newell will buy another 5 yachts.
Yeah, exactly. I want we're gonna hit the two comments that just came in from Dan and Michael, but I want to read this next one real quick since it's short. That deals with RAM stuff. Valve says RAM companies state prices monthly, and if they say no, they won't get a return call. And this is by Luke Riley at IGN.
In a new interview, Valve has conceded it has no bargaining power when it comes to buying memory from the limited number of companies that produce it at scale and control the bulk of the market. The company explained that doing anything other than agreeing to the price offered would see Valve cut off entirely. "Look, there's no contract, there's nothing," Valve engineer Pierre-Luc Graffet told Gamers Nexus. "Like, those guys, they give us a price every month or something, and they say, you can buy that many, and it's yes or no. And if we say no, then they never talk to us again." And that seems, now, I'm not saying, when I say it sounds extreme, I'm not saying that Valve saying this is like extreme, like they're trying to make it sound like, oh, woe is us, we have no choice. I get it. Like, it's, again, deal or no deal, take it or leave it. Like, this is my offer. But it is extreme on the RAM company's point of view that if they say no, it's like, okay, cool, we're never talking to you again. It's like, look, we've been doing business for decades at this point. Like, buying your chips, maybe not the same company per se, but we've been buying RAM chips for decades now. And it's like, all of a sudden, like, we're Steam. Like, we're like big money. You know what I mean? Like, we make money hand over fist. We are trying to get into the tech space. And it's like, all of a sudden, you look at us and say, oh, you don't like our price? Well, we're not doing business with you again. It seems a little, it seems way over the top. And it's like, I get it. With all these, like all these companies that buy the RAM chips are at these companies' mercy. I get it. But now you're smelling yourself a little too much to basically look at Gabe Newell and say, like, I know it's not Gabe who does the negotiations type of deal, but for argument's sake, you look at Gabe Newell essentially and say, we don't want to do business with you again. Who are you? Like, if it went like once we're past all this, I want to know how these negotiations go, because if I were Valve, I'd be like, once you start going cheaper, it's like, all right, now you're going to cut us a deal. Like we've been bending the knee to you for months and having to up the price so much just so we can break even essentially on this purchase. Y'all are going to cut us a deal, and I'm going to make you. I want to make sure it hurts your bottom line at the end of the day. Like, who are these guys? It's just like, again, and I don't want to go on and on about it, but it's just really gutsy to basically say, oh, we're not like, and you know, because again, if negotiations fall through, they fall through, and it's like, all right, cool, we can't agree to this. Let's reconvene next month, or you know, whatever, and we can, you know, again, and I get cost of goods and services. I understand it. It's business 101. But the fact that you just say, all right, well, if you don't buy from us, don't call us ever again, is crazy.
You know, they got the supply, there's a demand for it, and they can do whatever they want right now. You know, it is a crappy situation. I'm not saying that it isn't a crappy situation, but I look at it and I'm like, this is, and with Steam, I feel like they have a way smaller bargaining chip because they've only been like Steam Deck has only been out 4 years. They did have like a Steam machine way back in the day, but they haven't been making like actual hardware for that long. But even I'm sure Xbox is in that place because they're the only hardware that Microsoft puts out. Microsoft does not build computers.
Nope.
So it's like they don't have that. I feel like PlayStation actually might have the better position because Sony does so much with TVs and consoles, handhelds. Like there's just so much that they do and everything.
Right.
I do agree. It's kind of crazy. It's like either you play or you don't play, and you know, it feels very drug dealer. It's like either you want your fix now or you're not getting it. You know,
feels like they're dealing with Heisenberg or something.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to bump or you want to die? You know, it's like it's hardcore, but I think we're going to be like, I can't wait to see everything flip. Where it is,
because if I'm these companies, once they figure out this RAM crisis, I'm putting them over my knee.
Oh yeah, dude, I would I'd get them out in front of everybody. This is hypothetical, okay? This is allegedly, and I would slit the throat of that company and let it bleed out in the parking lot. I'd let everybody see that, okay? All right, I would make an example of it. But that goes to Michael's point. Pull this up. Will be interesting to see what happens to memory once the AI bubble bursts or at least shrinks a little. Will companies start selling high quality RAM at discounts to recoup? And I think they will, because it's going to be just exactly like the gaming industry, where they're going to be riding on this high, Derek. They're going to be at this peak where they're making money hand over fist. Sales have never been better than before. You're going to see more companies trying to figure out how to make RAM. You're going to see people trying to get into that in the next little bit. And then you're going to see the bubble burst, because either like, I don't know if AI will necessarily ever go completely away. Okay.
Right.
I think long term it will not be touted as big as it is. I don't think it will be, it will not be just like, I'm trying to think of it won't go the way of like the Furby, okay, or
True, where
Beanie
it's just a
Babies.
fad.
Yeah, I feel like it is something that it'll be more like a Stanley Cup. It's like it's useful enough, but everybody's
Yeah.
not going out and beating each other up to get a Stanley Cup at Target anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we still need RAM, but we don't need it in that bulk. And it's like,
Nope.
okay, now you're on my terms. Okay, you've got the supply and demand. Your supply is really up, and the demand is really down. It's time to gut you like a pig. All right, squeal for me, squeal for me, piggy. Oh man, like they would hate to see me coming. Okay, I just tell you, they'd hate to see me coming.
I'd have all the belts.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like that. I don't know which movie, but Kung Fu Panda, where like the guys like swinging the chains around like in the green mist. I'd be that person coming at him.
You just hear glass break.
Coming in on that ATV.
It'd be like, oh, Mr. Dykes. We're like, what? What? Anytime they say, what? We're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. If y'all don't know, go educate yourself. Dan said something as well. I've been seeing many posts on social media that many places in my local area are going to, or at least consider banning AI data centers. And I think that is more and more people, like, I think communities are realizing, oh, this is really bad for us because it's actually like the places that have data centers and everything, Derek, like the temperature has raised from like 2 to 3 degrees so far in their
and it's
area.
already hot, man. Like, stop it.
But just imagine as it gets hotter, it's going to take even more. So it's going to, guess what? It's going to get hotter. But a lot of people are pushing back. Like where I live, like they've banned it outright. Like in the county that we lived in before, they've like put it where they're not going to have an even discussion on it in like 18 months. So it's like, okay, it's not even a discussion. And I think a lot of people are so knee jerk. It's like these county commissioners and everything are like money. And you know, let's be honest, guys. County commissioners are corrupt as the day is long in the summertime.
100%.
They're padding somebody's pockets. So yeah, I hopefully will see less and less of that. And they're wanting to take advantage of smaller communities because they have the infrastructure, and who's footing the bill? The smaller communities. Everything's going to go up. But I digress. Derek Bain says, what?
What?
Let's talk about why Valve refuses to subsidize the Steam Machine, and this by Wesley Yinpul at IGN.
In a post on its website, it explained why, quote, "We think of Steam Machine as an extension of PC gaming, not as a console. The traditional console model is to sell hardware at a loss and make up the revenue with subscription services or by selling games that are locked into the hardware. We think this can make sense for a single business in the short term, but that open ecosystems are better for customers over the long term. PC gaming's history proves this. The openness of the PC gaming space has enabled it to be the primary driver of hardware and software innovation for decades. The strength of PC gaming is the ability to play the games you want on the hardware you want. Steam Machine is a, quote, solution to these problems, and we think it's a great one. But it's not the only option, and we don't want it to be." And I get it, because why cut your nose off to spite your face? Like, why would you in a room full of like 3 doors only lock 2 of them and give yourself one way out? Like, again, it's, especially in today's age, like, it's hard to like, again, with certain companies, it's hard to like, it's easy to make money the first time, but it's hard to keep making money, especially, and then keep that standard there, as we're seeing in a lot of these big corporations. So anywhere you can have access to some type of revenue, no matter what avenue you go down, do it. So again, it's easy to subsidize, and especially in today's climate, it is easy to subsidize. But I get what Valve is trying to do. Is it now? Is that going to be like? And they bring this up. They didn't name names, but it's like, can Sony do that? Can Microsoft do that? Can Nintendo do that? No. Like, did they try to? In like Microsoft more so than anybody else. Did Microsoft try to do some things like that? And are they still kind of planning that with Helix? Yes. Will it work? Some of their ideas did not. Helix remains to be seen. But again, Helix will cost you an arm and a leg. So, and again, like they say, they sell consoles at a loss and make it up in other ways with games and whatnot. So Valve is trying to go about this the smart way, and I'm not saying that it's the right way, but it's at least it's the right way for them to do it.
Well, it's the right way for, like, when you think about business, I wouldn't sell something at a loss. You know, like that's just silly. Especially in the climate that we're in. It's like, like it's when you really think about this. Go ahead, Derek.
I was gonna say it's not a great comparison, but just stick with me. It's kind of like the same. It's kind of like in the movie industry. It's like our first initial movie in this franchise is going to come at a loss, but the sequels will be where we make up money if they get greenlit. It's like, no, you kind of need to make, because especially like whether it's games or movies, new ideas nowadays. Like, and again, we tout. We've had this discussion, I think sometime last year. It's like everyone's banging the door for new ideas. Let's not do sequels and number by number remakes or sequels or whatever. And it's like, the market dictates other things. Like, yes, we can tout, vote with your wallet. We can tout, pitch new ideas, all we want to. But the market speaks. Now, again, that's a twofold thing, because people want comfort and don't want to try and venture into something scary and brand new that they might like, but they don't want to take that risk and lose out. I get it. You can make both sides of the argument compelling, but sequels, remakes, all that known IP is what makes money, for good or for bad. It's what people want to see.
Yeah, and there's diminishing returns on that. You know what I mean? Yep. And I feel like in all entertainment, we are at that point. And when you get the outlier like Expedition 33 last year, that's when you have something pop off and go crazy, where it's won the most awards out of any video game of all time. When you look at the subsidized thing, it makes sense. And that's the model that works for them. Microsoft has been subsidizing Xbox for 25 years, and now they're finally putting their foot down. It's like, you need to go get a job, move out of your mama's basement, Maybe, Derek, I don't know. I highly doubt it. But what if Xbox spun off from Microsoft?
Do it. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. If you want to spin off your own studios, why don't you just spin off from your own company? But I doubt Bill Gates would.
No.
Or Satya Nadella would allow it, but it would cost them an arm and a leg, and they'd have to pretty much just take two studios with them because of how much loss they would. But again, in a world of what ifs, you know what I mean?
In a world.
We're one man.
Joe says, tell me a new original franchise that's done well in the last 5 or 10 years.
Exactly.
Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Death Stranding.
You can count. It's not a long list.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
That's just at the 10-year mark, so
yeah, exactly.
Just at the 10-year mark.
Just makes the cut.
It's small. It's a small group that is just like brand new original ideas. Speaking of things that aren't original, you should hit that like button right now. Like, do it. If you haven't done it already, why haven't you? Do you not like us? Do you not like us?
I mean, I can understand you not liking me, but come on, man. You got to at least like one of us.
You gotta hit that like button right now. Okay, you go hit the button right now. Guys, we weren't planning to make this episode that long, but we love talking about video games. We got some GTA news, okay? GTA 6 price finally has been confirmed in this by Wesley Ginpool over at IGN.
Rockstar said GTA 6 will cost $80 across PlayStation 5 and Series X and S, confirming a $10 jump from the standard $70 we've seen this generation. The Ultimate Edition, meanwhile, is $20 more, priced at $100. Notably, a GTA 6 Ultimate Edition will include exclusive vehicles, weapons, and outfits, as well as additional locations and activities that it appears will be absent from the base version of the game. So, Zach, we knew this was coming. We had speculated they did do $100. They did do $100, but it was for the Ultimate Edition. $80 in the grand scheme of things is still kind of a win because of what people were speculating it could be. $100 starting price at $100, $150, what have you. Again, people were naming pretty much the Price is Right. Is it The Price is Right, the game show where you guessed what the object was or whatever? Okay, thank you. But yeah, you were just throwing a price out there, and you could justify it because it's Rockstar, it's Grand Theft Auto. Like you right or for wrong, you could name a price, and it would be justified. I still think $80. We are still kind of winning in that aspect because it's only a $10 price increase. Kind of, it still hurts. Like I said, like with the Steam machine, we knew it. We expected it. It still hurts. But again, I still think it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yes. Well, and to Joe's point, this is probably going to be the next gen gaming price.
Oh, 1,000%.
GTA is only doing what Nintendo did with Mario Kart World. So, it is there.
And we called it too. Like, we called Mario Kart World would open the door. They opened the floodgates for people like a GTA that's like, we are bigger than Mario. Like, Mario's a long tenure, but we make money two hands over fist when we drop a Grand Theft Auto game. Who are you? Who are we not to take that and run with it?
Well, and like you look at it with Xbox, they tried to go up to 80, then back down. But over in Europe, dude, their games, Xbox games, like on Steam and everything, they're more than $80 USD.
Wow.
Over there. Yeah. So it's like,
it could be worse. It's one of those things that could always be worse.
It could be worse. The thing that I don't want to negate or gloss over, Derek, is that the Ultimate Edition, it's not just a few outfits. It's not just a car or whatever, but they're actually locking locations and activities behind the Ultimate Edition.
That is very scummy. It is circa, like, what game? There was a game that did that back in like the PS4, Xbox One era, and I can't remember what it is, but there was maybe it wasn't the same. There was that, but it was also like Deus Ex Mankind Divided was like augment your pre-order where you get different things depending on how many people pre-ordered the game. And at the time it's like, it was sort of like a crowdfunding before crowdfunding was a big thing. It's like, if enough people pre-order it, you get this pre-order. But there was another game that had pre-order bonuses that locked stuff behind that, and I can't remember what it was for the life of me. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, that is very, very scummy. But again, and I'm not trying to justify it, not trying to be a corporate apologist. It's Rockstar, it's GTA. If anyone's going to do it, they will do it. And it's only to get more money in their pockets because they know people will do it. They know people will eat it up. They will drop that money.
Yeah, and it's like, it's $20 more. And I get, like, there's a lot of stuff in it, Derek. There's a lot of stuff in it. But it's like, you won't be able to get this NPC, and you won't be able to get these upgrades to your vehicle. You won't be able to, like, there's a whole, like, classic car collection that's locked behind that. That's also missions and activities and all of these that are being put behind that. like this is essentially saying, all right, for the poors, y'all can get it for $80. But the hardcore fans, we see you out there, y'all pay $100 and y'all get the full game.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's telling me here. And the way they've done this, you know, like a lot of games where it's like, okay, you buy the Ultimate Edition or whatever, the bronze, whatever. And when you load up the game, it's like, oh, you've unlocked the Golden Age Batman suit or whatever from the get-go. The way they've done this is what I think is interesting. Okay, I will give them props to this. They've weaved in all of this Ultimate Edition content within the game so it makes sense to the story. So you're actually missing out of story content if you don't get the Ultimate Edition.
Ugh. Woof. That I didn't even think about it that way. My God. Okay.
Yep.
I feel like I need to take a shower.
Yeah. So
I feel dirty.
Yeah, it is dirty because it is essentially, it's like, okay, you can get most of the game for $80. What's $20?
That $20 going to cost you though.
what's $20 more? Are you really a GTA fan?
You can't even get a regular meal for $20 nowadays. Like, are you going to really let that affect you from getting the whole game?
You've been waiting so long for GTA 6. We literally had 2 Trump presidencies before you got GTA 6.
Yeah.
The reflecting pool is full of algae before GTA 6.
Oh, yeah.
The Pope went against AI before GTA 6. What's $20 more? And then I think if I know we'll get data analysts and numbers and all of this on this as we go. I bet you more people will buy the $20. It's just $20 more. It's exactly how Apple does their pricing. It's like, well, you can add, you know, an HD camera for $50 more. And then by the time where you started out like $700 on a PC, a Mac,
all of a sudden you're at $2,000.
You're $2,000 in. That's exactly what they're doing here. So I do think it's not going to be $80 next time around. Okay. I think we're looking $90 to $100 on what the future price of video games is going to be.
Yep. And, you know, that poses the question is like, will this affect the rest of the games? When we talked about this way before, you know, like when GTA 6 was like, when all these rumors about the price were swirling, we talked about it. No matter what price it was going to launch at, it was going to be above industry standard, which it is. And it's going to set the precedent going forward because it's like, oh, well, like Call of Duty, we can be $80. We can be $90 because we're Call of Duty. Like, yeah, we may not have the same cachet as GTA, but we're just right below them. So it's like, why can't we be in the same breath as GTA? Like, we're arguably as big, or like the next tier as big as them, or to some people as big as GTA. It's like, why can't we do this? EA, it's like, oh, our last Battlefield game did gangbusters. Why can't we just charge more? Because if we build off the successes of Battlefield 6, who's to say we can't charge more and give you the same experience? Because we did such a great job the last time, but in behind closed doors, we can make the game worse because we've already given that false bravado of, oh, we're gonna keep building momentum, and we know that's not going to happen. So I don't know, man. It will definitely change it will definitely change the industry standard for what game prices will be. And I mean, again, it started with Mario Kart World. You know, they created the first crack in the floodgate, and GTA is pretty much just put the C4 in there and blew the whole dam wide open. So it's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if in 10 to 15 years, well, maybe not even that much, 5 to 10 years, we're looking at games starting price at $100.
Yeah. And I don't think people are going to pay that, Derek. I think you see more and more people pay buy less and less new games. They wait for it to go on deep sales, and it's like, yeah, some games might not go on sale, but guess what? I don't trust a lot of games that are coming out that will actually be good. It's like we
were already skeptical of $60 games back in the day because, like, again, what was it? Battlefield. It was some type of, I think, Battlefield 4. You got paid $60 for a 6-hour campaign, and I know that's not a great example because people don't play Battlefield for the campaign necessarily. But Call of Duty did the same thing again. The more expensive the game is, the more bang for your buck is what you want. And again, consumers are not always going to win because game companies want to be the one that makes the profit. But again, you want to feel like you got to win. And again, if you pay $100 for a 6-hour experience for like a AAA game, you are going to riot. You know what I mean? And again, we were doing that at 60. It's going to get worse the more it goes up.
Yeah, I like. If I'm paying $100 for a 6-hour game, it better be
the best 6 hours of your life.
Yeah, like it's got to rival a lot of things that I've experienced in my life. Dan brings up, kind of feels like the DLC for Mass Effect. Yeah, I feel like Mass Effect's DLC was closer to this model, especially with Mass Effect 3 with like the Prothean. You know what I'm talking about. Like that one, like it definitely does feel a little bit closer to it. And yeah, it is a marketing tactic. It's the same thing. Why, like Apple, like with McDonald's, how the medium is closer to the large than it is the small. So what do? Yep. I might as well get a large. It's only like 10 cents more, right? 10, 20 cents more. Bane says, I played GTA Online since it came out, stopped about a year ago. I saw this coming from shark cards to DLCs. Everything is monetized.
Yep.
Did you like that?
Nickel and dime you every chance they get.
My theater. Joe says, I'll have to buy my consoles and games with
half cash, half stock.
Thank you.
Prothean. Yeah, there you go. It's just hard to say. Say it, Derek.
Prothean.
There you go. When you were like struggling to pronounce those names, I was like, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't. Well, never mind.
Make fun of me, Derek. Yeah. Make fun of me.
My 1 to your 20. Don't even.
That's all right. That's all right. I take my wins where I can, Derek. Take my wins where I can.
I know.
Speaking of GTA, we got a few more stories here before we hit the Patreon quick hits. GTA 6 physical copies won't include a disc, will be just a code in the box by Tom Phillips over at IGN.
Rockstar will sell physical copies of GTA 6, though you'll only get a box containing a digital code, download code. On the upside, physical copies will be available from November 12th in advance of the game's actual launch on the November 19th. This earlier date is also when GTA 6 preloading will become available, allowing anyone with a physical copy or digital pre-order to get the game downloading. And I figured, once I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is definitely, they'll allow you to preload it like some other games did. Like when you got the Ultimate Edition or whatever that came with a download code, you could get it several days to a week early or whenever it allowed for preloading. Speaking of, again, and we have both pretty much gone digital, and I get it. And people want to say, oh, well, Nintendo Switch 2 is doing it. Well, it's a game key card, and you can still allow it to be passed on, and you still get a physical copy. You still have like a physical cartridge in there to some extent. It's not just a code that you can use once. And the first thing I got to say about this is like, GameStop is I'm gonna love it because it's like people that like hate GTA. It's like you can't return it because it's like you can't even return it for a refund. Like you can't trade it in, but you can't even return it because it's like you've used the code. So if you hate the game, sucks to suck. You better make sure you are fully invested. And even if you hate it, you're stuck with it, Chief. Sorry. But just speaking of half cash, half stock, it's like that's what they're gonna give you. It's like, but it's only gonna be half stock. It's like, we can't give you cash, homie.
Yeah, we give you stock in this dying business.
Yeah. But again, like we've both gone digital, so it's like this doesn't affect us per se. It's like you still get a box, which cool, you get some physical aspect to it, but for the people that want the disc and like prefer physical media, this is definitely sucks for them. Like, and I'm not even trying to be facetious on this, like definitely is like it's you still like if you buy a game case, like a physical edition, you want to have that open and hear the disc rattle in the tray, you know what I mean? And the fact that you don't even get that anymore is crazy. Like, go ahead.
Well, there is another an update to this that I just found as I was scrolling through VGC. GTA 6 disc version will reportedly be coming in December, insider claims.
Ooh, okay.
Physical copies of Grand Theft Auto 6, which include a disc, are set to come in December, it's claimed. And y'all can read the rest of this. But
yeah,
one thing that I heard about GTA, the reason why they're not doing like early access or the physical version is because they didn't want the game leaking before. They wanted everybody to experience GTA 6 at the same exact time. So that's why they're not doing any physical versions or like early access timelines or anything like that.
And I guess I get that. Like, and I wonder if that'll set a precedent for other companies to do that. But I get it. But also, that's just a weird thing. Like, I'll say I get it. It's just a weird thing to do. Like, that's a weird justification for it.
Hey, I'm not the one that makes the decisions over there. Last story from GTA tonight. GTA 6 being a single player experience means what for GTA Online?
So GTA 6 is a single player experience, Rockstar has confirmed in a note sent to IGN, as well as on storefronts where you can now pre-order the game. Rockstar's announcements today have made it clear that the existing GTA Online is the focus for now. A digital pre-order gets you a free month of GTA Plus, with Rockstar referencing GTA Online in its press release. Quote, experience a dynamic blockbuster GTA Online now with the best way to get the most out of its ever-evolving world. Pre-order any edition of GTA 6 on the PlayStation Store or Microsoft Store and get one free month of GTA Plus, featuring a recurring monthly GTA $500,000 deposit into your GTA Online character's bank account. Access to special shark cards with 15% bonus GTA cash, access to free and discounted GTA Online vehicles, a rotation selection of classic Rockstar game titles and other featured games in the GTA Plus games library, and much more. Much more. So, you know, Blessing brought this up, Zach, is like, what if they do drop the online update? And what if they do it next fall? Like, what if they do 2 different falls worth of GTA, which I don't think they'd wait. If they're already promising a month free of GTA Plus, like, why would they wait another year? I mean, they could. They're Rockstar. Again, they could do what they want at this point. But imagine it dropping in can you imagine that release when it does drop, like the update or whatever, like in, let's just say for the sake of argument, Q1 of next year, like between January and March. It will be insane. Like, I know it was a proof of concept when GTA 5 came out, and that's why they waited 2 weeks. You know, it's like, hey, get your fun of the game, get your bearings, and then we'll launch this new mode to let people try 2 weeks afterward. And when it did, it took off, and they never looked back. So, again, and when it first dropped, people were like, oh, they're not going to have an online mode. I'm like, dude, how much money did they make in shark cards just alone in their first year, let alone 10 plus years afterward? Yeah. They are not going to cut off their nose, face, tongue, hands, and feet to not make money. They are going to do it. They just want to make sure it is the best thing, and they give you a reason to why you should invest your time and keep investing, like, keep spending your money in there, because if it's just, again, a copy and paste of the same thing from GTA 5, you might have your hardcore still in there doing what they want, but it's not going to bring in new people. It's not going to bring in new cash flow. They want to give a reason for more people to spend money on this game.
Well, and you've got to give a reason. Again, this is kind of like Overwatch to Overwatch 2. You got to give them a reason to go to the new version. And if it's a worse version of the original, people are going to hate it. They're going to crap on it, and you're not going to have people buy into what GTA Online is going to morph into. You also have to think about the install base of GTA Online, because that game has been out since 2013. So there's a huge install base from the original, the Xbox 360 all the way up to what we have now. And you're going to like introduce a new online, you're going to split that. And it's like, you have to have a really good roadmap. And I think waiting to see how many units sell of 6 is going to be like, okay, we can shift things. We can have an event. We can have all of this that's going to push everybody over there. Or do we have GTA Online Classic and then we have GTA Online? You know what I mean? Like doing like how WoW does things.
It's a very intricate way of doing a beta, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think, when you really look at this, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. This is telling me that GTA 6 has been made. What we're getting in November has been made to be a single player game, that we're not, other than the Ultimate Edition thing that I talked about earlier, we're getting a full blown game that is going to be from soup to nuts. It's going to be a single player game. And then the multiplayer stuff is going to be separate. So they're not doing what we've seen everybody else do in the last 10 years. So in a way, that makes me confident, makes me excited about GTA 6. I don't like the whole Ultimate Edition thing, the way they're putting things behind that. So I see Bane freaking out. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. They're gonna make their money, dude. Like they're gonna get you on the Ultimate Edition, and they're going to get you on GTA Online.
You talking about their player base, since has been there since 2013. Just how my brain works is like, maybe do another wrestling callback to when The Rock would do his shtick about in front of the millions and millions of GTA Online players.
Yeah, like you think about it, it's like, okay, PS4, not even including like the generation. Yeah, not even. Yeah, I don't even know if they are playing with each other. I have no idea about that. But then
I'm saying PC. Like from the start.
Yeah, it's like you've got PC as well, which they've got to keep catering to PC until they put out the PC port, because that's where all the RP servers and all of those people are, and they're really into that stuff. So it's like you can't rob Peter to pay Paul here. You've got to have a great rollout on this, and you got to have the numbers, and you got to get the PC port out as well. But they're going to focus on getting as many people into that single player as they possibly can. And guess what? It's going to sell like crazy. And you want to make a Chick-fil-A bet, Derek?
No.
Dang it.
You almost had
I almost had you. The bet was going to be, I'll let you pick on which version do you think is going to sell the most.
Oh, dude, that's not even a bet. It's going to be the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
So
I was going to let you pick. You could have got a free Chick-fil-A sandwich, Derek. But you know what is also awesome? The Patreon quick hits. Thanks everybody for being here and supporting us. We've had 3 long shows back to back to back because wasn't the plan, y'all. We're gonna get through this one pretty quick, and then we just started yapping. But I have enjoyed every single minute of it. And if you've enjoyed every single minute of the show and everything else that we've been putting together here at the Nerd Cave, you can go over to patreon.com/Nerd Cave to get your very own Nerd Cave membership. You help a 1.5 person business keep the lights and mics on. So become part of the ship, part of the crew at patreon.com/Nerd Cave, and time for the Patreon quick hits.
So starting off, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has gone gold. Evidence mounts that Gang of Dragon has been quietly canceled at Nagoshi Studio. Street Fighter 6 dev has confirmed an August 3rd release for Yasmin. The Police's Stuart Copeland is not composing the new Spyro the Dragon game. Pokemon Pokopia mythical Pokemon Jirachi event has been announced, as fans believe shiny costume creatures may follow. Vampire Survivor Studio suggests it may scrap Fortnite crossover after Epic Games confirms generative AI usage. Final Fantasy Tactics The Evilise Chronicles gets surprise New Game Plus update. Shinobi Art of Vengeance jumps to Switch 2 on, guess what, September 24th, as if September is not crowded enough. But wait, guys, there'll be more soon in the quick hits. Epic Games Store roadmap promises 5 times faster boot times, user reviews, and more new features in the next 12 months. Halo Studios clarifies that Halo Campaign Evolved split-screen co-op on PS5 will not require a PlayStation Plus membership. Ubisoft co-founder Claude Guillemot has died in the France plane crash, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Following that, Doom composer Bobby Prince has also passed away. That I didn't look at specifics for that. I think it was natural causes, but again, thoughts and prayers to him and his loved ones. CD Projekt Red co-CEO hopes Witcher 4 wins back players after heartbreaking Cyberpunk 2077 launch. Xbox's confusing exclusivity criteria now aided by a big exclusive label on console dashboard. Fallout Season 3 adds Manny Jacinto, Thomasine McKenzie, and Emily Mortimer. The Last of Us multiplayer mod is targeting a, quote, you guessed it, September release. And that's just a mod, though. Not an official multiplayer mode, but a mod. Marvel's Wolverine's Sabretooth actor has confirmed he also has a role in GTA 6. Nicolas Cage is a playable character in Call of Duty. Netflix's Gears of War movie is an origin story for Delta Squad. Valve says Steam Deck 2 is getting closer, but still not ready yet. Hideo Kojima says upcoming Xbox horror game OD has a special system for people who are too scared to keep playing. Microsoft confirms Sea of Thieves live-action movie is in development and will be directed by Shang-Chi and Spider-Man director Destin Daniel Cretton. And all I gotta say is cool. I get, like, Sea of Thieves is doing this thing, but who asked for this? Just saying. Laufey actress Deborah Ann Wall says that God of War Laufey has been planned since 2018, and I can believe that. Halo Campaign Evolved main menu video sparks fan debate saying the ring is too detailed. That in a world of anything you could stand on, the Halo ring being too detailed is an argument you want to have. Anyway, I digress. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 confirms spiky hair and multiple races are going to be returning for the game. Rumor, Devil May Cry Remake is an active development. Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is now out on Switch 2. Activist investor says Katakawa should be making more money from Elden Ring as its CEO survives a shareholder vote. Marathon confirms new PvE mode release date for July 21st, and Season 3 begins in, guess what, September. Bungie devs reportedly pitched a Destiny dating sim, but leadership rejected it. It's kind of giving when Bluepoint was scrambling to give ideas to before they got shut down, and none of them worked. Lords of the Fallen 2 has been delayed to 2027. Netflix horror game starring Sadie Sink, Zoe Kravitz, and Troy Baker from the Oxenfree developer Night School Studio has been announced. Arnold Schwarzenegger AI game is an Amazon Luna exclusive. All I gotta say is they can have it. Amid concern over Xbox Studio Bloodbath, new report says devs are being punished today for following orders. GTA 6 pre-orders offer 1 month subscription of GTA Plus for free. GTA 6 may abandon the franchise's unrealistic weapon inventory. Some retailers are refusing to sell GTA 6 due to a lack of a disc. Some fear GTA 6 physical version marks the end of the video game disc as we know it. New DLC character coming to BlazBlue Central Fiction a decade after it was released. Micron CEO expects RAM shortage to last through 2027 and start to ease in 2028. Bungie communications manager says Destiny 2 fans shouldn't blame themselves for the game coming to an end. And lastly, Fortnite begins reselling old Battle Pass skins in next update.
Let's recycle that content.
Right.
Destiny dating sim? What the crap?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, out of all things, like, again, like I said, it kind of reminds me of when Bluepoint, like when their God of War live service game got canceled, and they were like, all right, they're like, hey, what you got? Because we may have to shut you down. It's like, all right, what about this, that, and the other? And it's like, nope. So it feels like, oh, we want to keep Destiny 2 alive, and we want to keep the Destiny IP alive and well. Let's do a dating sim. Why? Why? Is this the one you want to hang your hat on?
Yeah, like for me, it feels like they already took it out back and shot it in the head, and then like they've come out. It's like, oh, can we do this? It's like they're like trying to like stand in front of it and like hide the body. It's like, nope, can't do that. Can't do that. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is this episode of the Nerd Cave Newz. Next week, Eat Sleep Anime is going to take the spot of Nerd Cave Newz. So we're going to be talking about anime the whole evening. It's going to be a great time. You don't want to miss it. 7 p.m. Central Time. So y'all catch up on all your anime. We want to hear your thoughts on the things that you've been watching.
It's probably going to be another long show because our anime shows tend to go long. But I digress.
Yeah, Derek's just going chat away. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be checking out some demos from the Steam Next Fest that just wrapped up. So testing out some stuff. And if anybody wants to play V Rising, and you can get it on PlayStation as well. You can get it on PlayStation as well. I've already got a cool castle set up and everything, but I'll get it on Steam, and we can play together there too. We can play online on the stream. I'm trying to get people to play with me, Derek. That's what I'm shilling right now. That game is just so good. Derek won't play with me. Derek won't play with me.
Derek won't play, period.
Derek doesn't play video games. He's a poser, y'all. But there you have it, everybody. That is our show tonight. Thank y'all so much for being here, chatting all the way through. We love y'all so much. This has been Zach
and Derek.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.